gotta charge it? Alright.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Perfect volume? Sweet.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Isn't that our main character? The Adventure of the Great Departure. November 22nd, 8:33 a.m. Supreme Court adjudication. Defendants intake chamber 5. Still can't believe it. Still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that it's just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber? It's the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate. What? Huh? What? Oh, no. Nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Sorry? My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. Now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. What? And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer, and I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to threaten him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What? What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that was my fault. But really, Kazuma? I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me, I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Asogi. My best friend. Also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering it. I didn't even get to read that. Game, you scroll text too fast sometimes. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyways. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know. It's been forever dreaming for this day. Finally, these government entities have acknowledged my academic achievements and success in the world. You'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around this temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean, to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. Wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. Oh no. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Right, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, partner. Dude, Cosmo just seems awesome. But straight after that, that's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a wood? Okay, so I need more voice. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this is a case of personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. Your advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel so I've seen him at the university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. I love how he's just standing there and he just glances over at you. That's a great touch. If I may. Yes? Sorry? You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor at the Forensic Medicine at Yume University. Forensic Medicine. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I'm going to struggle to say some of these names. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma's studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked. Never granted again. That's just not fair. Lose one trial? Oh, nope. You're screwed. Nope. Your career's over. You can't do this. Nope. That is just not fair. What? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants to oversee studies. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear, I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand, once proceedings get underway. But, what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right. So, as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. This seems sketch. This seems really sketch. Like, right after that, he's telling me to, like, say, once the judge asks a certain question to the defense, immediately say, I do. What? Like, I feel like this is a test. Like, there's gotta be a kind of test here. Like, it doesn't make any... Why would he tell us to say that? I do? But, what will the question be? Surely not. Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. Of course, we don't get told. It would seem our superior's decisions are to be cut short. So allow me to surmise. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. What, we're just gonna kick him off the case? We're like, nope. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. Bailiff! We are waiting for you. Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. Man, this bailiff sucks. Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over, and what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea what lay ahead, I embark on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. November 22nd at 9 a.m. Superior Court of Justice, courtroom at 2. So this is a courtroom? Superior Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in a public gallery. A lot of military and other uniforms in there. Power that we have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Rinosuke. It's about to begin. Wait, this is... It says Mr. Payne. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order at which I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to the trial. As is the usual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for the final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defense in the trial? Oh my gosh! The old man was trying to get us to advocate for ourselves. Which, this makes sense. They want us to do it ourselves so that way Kazuma is clean, whatever happens in this trial, Kazuma doesn't get blamed for the failure of the trial. So then he doesn't lose his study abroad. Oh! This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? No! I don't know. Why? This game is just, no. Ah! Ah! You know what? I'm gonna listen to the old man. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope
Yes!
Yes! What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. Just love his eyes were just like, You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Miko told me everything just now. Just now, before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. I mean, you don't have faith in me. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? No! It's not that, really. It's just that... on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear it be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba should not stuck his nose in. Very well. The court will hereby recognize the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Just love his face, she's just like... Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. Not confident at all. In fact, my mind's completely blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated the most heinous crime. As you are no doubt, I can't keep a consistent voice. Oh my god. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of the Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected for all present. Do I make myself clear? Defendant Naruto. Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. This is just like the first trial in a trilogy. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, you can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let us start with the very simplest question. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in the case. Well, that's easy enough. Heard his name Mort. Happens and I cared for him. But, wait. I'm nervous. Can't remember that. What was it again? Yonosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find it. It's simple. You can access the court record with suppress the R. If you ever find yourself forgetting something, just consult that. It all goes in there. You just have to press R for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. This is a list of evidence you've collected. Try switching to people. Well, for the details about the victim, here, you're done, just press B to go back. John Wilson, the victim of this case, he was a visiting professor of medicine at Yume University for the British Empire. Okay, now we understand why it's in highest court. Now we understand why it's in highest court, because this is a serious crime. You're killing someone from another country. So for everything to do with court, the current case can be found in the court record. Now you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record. Press X to present.
Yes!
Yes! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of the esteemed member of your own university. It's from another school. It's from another country. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And most of you will be aware we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japan Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. This case is under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And your convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. That's why this trial has unusual particularities of innocence. Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, indeed. Nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. Fact is, I was there at a scene of a crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. It's British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. Seen that man at the university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. What happened after that? Now then, let me propose the next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did a professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? Wasn't it a gunshot? Didn't they already show that? The day before the course and cause of death. This is the autopsy, right? Post-mortem report. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. It was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Cause of death. Well, obviously, that was Ryunosuke. Remember, that in court, every assertion must be backed by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find a piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death, then select percent. Do it now.
Yes!
Well, according to this document, the victim suffered, hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's a post-mortem report. I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. Post-mortem report. In the West, the doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. Here in Japan, the police officer merely inspects the body and draws a conclusion that way. That is so flawed. That is so flawed. Oh, I see. It's like I'm going to be testing on it later. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern the scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. Okay, so it's a point blank. In other words, we should assume the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the court record. Okay. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. Can I, like... Okay. Okay, something like, I feel like this image is backwards, like, just because it was an older camera. It's like where he got shot is shot in the heart. Like, that would make the most sense. He was shot in the heart, and this picture is mirrored, and I feel like that will come up later. I have no idea. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better appease the court with the facts of this case, the hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think it may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes. Clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that certainly doesn't mean. Well, I can still act as your assistant. Big brain it. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. I am Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at Western-style restaurant called Le Carnival. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Bothers me? You're coughing up blood. Something's not right. As everyone knows, the capital southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants. It's an occasional eatery 3 days ago. Understood. Hosonaga-san, will you kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident? At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the appraising lawyer boy, please. Oh, shut up! Oh, perspiring, maybe, but aspiring. It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have a few diners at that time. We have a few diners at a time of day. Lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That was just my memory too. There's hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found a victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. Standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on. Let me just clarify something here. When did I pick up a gun and while I did pick up a gun I found lying on the floor beside Professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
Objection! I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have a chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter, standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man as you see here in court today. Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and a university student. Something's not right here. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table. What about the, like he said there were 3 tables occupied. There'd be Naruhodo's, the Englishman's, Dr. Wilson. What about that 3rd table? Like, he basically just, like, was like, oh, yes, that table doesn't exist anymore. That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at the table. Really? It's not something a waiter could have missed. I warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? You see, I don't know how this game functions. Like, how it functions differently from like the Ace Attorney trilogy. So I don't like screw it.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting. Okay.
Attention!
Dear me, dear me. What are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosanaga-san, is there by any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look at it if you'd like to. Let me see. Sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself. Oh, this is not him talking. This is a judge talking. Drawn out by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. That drawing doesn't prove anything. You're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Blech. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Something's off with it, and he knows it. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Oh my gosh, can you stop coughing? So the court has now heard the priestess of this case. Hold on. Examine this. Can I? Okay, I don't know what these characters mean. But he only has a mark. He drew how the tables were laid out, yes. But like he only marked where the Dr. Wilson was. It's like, how does this prove there was only like Dr. Wilson was alone? Like, I just don't buy it. So the court has now heard the priestess of the case. Yes. At the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. Unsworn, so that means if he lies, he can get away with it. He's not sworn to the truth. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. Is this the third person in the restaurant that the waiter is just gleefully forgetting about? From the other table? What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty in one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? No. Everyone keeps telling me that the trial is unusual about these particularities. You said it. Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. Pushing it anyways, who cares? As I said from the outset, I believe in your innocence. I trust you. Yet, despite knowing that, you're willing to throw that trust back in my face. Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, the defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Kazuma, I think I'm supposed to be doing this. Then, we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Naruto is like... Indeed. Prosecutor Ryauchi, please continue with the proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witness. Very well. Bring forth the witness at once. Oh, witnesses, hello. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. I am a Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Ise Nosa, reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employee at the purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the first cent of our nation, Japan, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premise in the 2nd District. Kurio Korekuta, at your service. An adequate dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pair. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be diners. They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take the tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post noon. Not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer. And it sounds like a regular La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with its rich clientele. Right, I see. Although to be honest, the sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, most you witnessed a precise moment of the most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantry over there who unloaded the firearms, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard that strange noise, that last thing he said. The strange noise in the last thing he said. So this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment he shot the victim dead. Yeah. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear the formal testimonies, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment the incident occurred. Yes, sir. Standing by ready to report. Why am I hearing a baby cry? Unsavory memories of most Arabic afternoon. I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactful discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of particularly fine golden curio to the military general. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on an English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Got our contradiction already. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts about my mysteriously abacus and precious beauty. Okay, so the old man saw nothing. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What times we live in, when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes. All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then when I finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it, so I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, it's a different gun. It's a different gun. Well, if that's the truth, there's obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. Somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue to who that criminal was. Nah, there's not a clue to who it was. It's a clue that the old man, like the sergeant, saw nothing. Ryunosuke must exercise your right to cross-examine a witness. Cross-examine? Do it now. As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly. The testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict as
Yes!
Hold on. Hold on. What in the name of the Emperor is the immediate of this outburst? The defense. The defense demands its right to cross-examination. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimiki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh. How did he know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of our time. The defense obviously has no experience. How possibly can it carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Kasuma's so commanding. Very well. Let's hear the defense conduct cross-examination of the witness. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in a witness's statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means what that soldier said had to be a lie. Oh yes, but it's not just a case of proving it. The key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. It's all or nothing. Okay. Precise moment, a firearm was discharged and it acted with my own eye. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on an English civilian and from the back, the cowardly weasel. So, my problem here is, number one, why is he turned away from his seat? Number two, the autopsy said the shot went in but didn't go out. So there should be a bullet hole on his back. It's only the bullet hole on his chest.
Yes!
I don't know. And everyone's just like, what are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Inserting some photographic print at my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. I think you mean contradiction. What nonsense! What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say. The words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in the Grand Court. This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. Couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to this court. I love how he just like, so obvious we shouldn't have to say it. It's just like, so obvious I don't even want to have to say it. Cosmo, what? What are you talking about? It is apparent from a single glance at this photographic print presented by the defendant that there's a clear discrepancy with the sergeant's take. What? Sergeant Nosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. A Blackthorn University cadet fired on an English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmation, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes.
Yes!
But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is obvious. That's an obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Oh, there's a baby on his back. That would explain the baby crying. Ooh. Was that something just popped up from behind his back? But he pushed it down again. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. So why it is? Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my own eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious Le Carnival steak. Why? What? The last testimony the court heard was proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Issei Nosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There's no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Oh! Take the shot, fire it back, suck it. Inconsistencies. All these achievements are going to be great. I didn't read that. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. The university cadet. He was pointed to fire directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interests me not. I was far busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Indeed. The Koi era koban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it's my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop receptacle, in the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from me. On a day under scrutiny, I was a military man that I proffered my Hoi treasure. I believed that he would purchase such a rare find. I did not. But I was presented with a little alternative. And then, after burning my eyes for the briefest of moments, there was no more. It simply vanished. It was there no more. It simply vanished. A kaban vanished? Hunting around the table, I was, in case of a mishap, I had followed it, and then it happened. I heard the gunshots. Indeed I did, but I hate us not, for I was only concerned finding my Abkazan Hoi treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find a coin in the end? No. I see. Not the lamentable day, the precious Hoi kaban was lost to me. No doubt, some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prized coin for himself. Did the sergeant take it? As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Hey, Madsy. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive, no matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Ochi? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly committed this despicable crime. It's an equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Shut up, Ayuchi. Really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well. The court invites the witness to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegations. Is that clear? As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Can we get that baby out of here? Excuse me. Is there something or someone peeking out over your shoulder? Think? Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family. Rise up through the ranks, sir. Name, Aido. We've seen no straps or the sign of sergeant being too strapped to around before the name. Aido. Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, boy.